If you boys need any sort of my team grinding, make sure to hit up my boy Witty over on Twitter. He's got the fastest, most reliable, and the cheapest prices out there. You guys don't want to miss out. In this video, I'm going to be ranking the best value cards right now in NBA 2K25 My Team on a tier list here, ranking from S that does go all the way down to D tier. And we have about 35 to 40-ish of the best value cards in this game. I also did put some cards on here that I don't think are great value, and I wanted to include that just to show you guys a difference, an example of what I mean by a great value card. If you guys are maybe a little bit confused of what I mean is a good value card or what is a value card, is going to be cards that aren't necessarily the best cards in this game, but just cards I think are really good for their price tag. And that could be a card that's worth 5,000 MT, like a Danny Green. He's really good for his price compared to a card like maybe Rudy Gay, who's 150k, but he's also really good for his price. So we're going to be ranking where I think the best value cards in this game are. These are my opinion, about 35 to 40 of the best in the game. Like I said, including a couple that maybe aren't great value, just to show you guys the example of, you know, maybe they go for 300,000 MT, but there's better cards you can get for 50k. To me, that's not great value, paying 200k for a card that a 50k card is better. That's just kind of the example. You guys will probably understand as we go along. But Gali Sopo Calico over here, I think is S tier. He is seriously a top 5 shooting guard in this game, and you can get him for 80,000 MT. Like, he's really not that pricey. 6'7" at the 2, 6'9" wingspan. They gave him good defensive stats. His jump shot's on very quick, so he's got a great jump shot, good enough defender, can slash to the rim a little bit if you need him to. Sure, he doesn't have the greatest dribble sigs in the world, but he's got the Curry behind the back, the pro dribble style. Not that bad for Kyle Korver. Great player model in game. And I think again I think for his price tag is really good value, and that's why I do believe he's going to be in that S tier category for his price tag. Now Dr. J I think is also S, but I think for this reason, like, maybe you could put him in A tier because Kyle Korver's like 150,000 MT cheaper than Pink Diamond Dr. J, and he's not that much worse, and he's probably even better of a card honestly at the shooting guard position. But I think I'll put Dr. J in that S tier category. He's still one of the best shooting guards in this game. Yes, he's a little bit pricey. He goes for more than a Kyle Korver, for example, but I still think you got to put him in S tier because of his jump shot being super elite, and you can find him for under 200k right now in my team. I think LaMelo Ball isn't the greatest of values in game. Like, yes, he's 6'7" at point guard. That definitely does help out his ranking, and I think he's a good card, but he's kind of pricey, guys. Like, I think he goes for close to 100,000 MT on the auction house. I'm looking right now, and he's actually not even a buy now price. So I think 100,000 MT for LaMelo, even though he's a good point guard. Is he C or B? Like, he's still good, so I think I'll go B tier, but that's the type of card that isn't really great for his value necessarily when there's better point guards in my opinion for 10-15,000 MT, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Pink Diamond Big Z, really good for his price. He's not that insane of a card, so I'm probably going to put him in B tier, but he's a good center card for only like 10-15,000 MT, 7'3", 7'7" wingspan, has a good enough jump shot, really good interior defender, and has that size to be able to defend those taller centers in game. Tyson Chandler, this is where I think that value of MT really comes into play. Is Tyson Chandler a better center than Big Z? Potentially. I think it's a close debate, but he can also play power forward number 1, and he's also cheaper as well. Not by a ton, he's only about 10,000 MT cheaper, but he's cheaper, can play power forward, and I think he's honestly a better card. 7 foot at center, 7'3" wingspan, a really good defensive card, 96 block, 96 interior defense. Hall of Fame badges are great for defense. He's got an okay jump shot. Yes, a 62 3 ball is low, no shooting badges, but again, if he's wide open, he can knock it down. And I think for his price tag is actually going to be in that A tier category, maybe B tier. I think actually B tier is probably more fair for Tyson Chandler. We just got a lot of really good value cards here on this list. Drazen Petrovic, one of them as well. Very similar card to Kyle Korver, pretty much the exact same card. Really good jump shot, 99 3. He's got one of the best jump shots in this game with that Jared Culver base, Oscar upper, on very quick. Defense is good as well. Not as tall and not as big of a player model as Kyle Korver, but I do think Korver's the better card, but both these cards are really good for their price. Drazen Petrovic only going for about 60,000 MT on the auction house, so I think he's going to be in that S tier. Rudy Gay, it's hard not to put this card in S. He is the most complete small forward in this game for this price tag. Like, he's 6'8" at the 3, 7'3" wingspan. His stats are very well rounded. He's got a great jump shot as well with that Rudy Gay base, Rudy Gay upper on very quick timing, and he's expensive. Like, he's not a cheap card by any means, but he's about 200,000 MT, 150k. somewhere in that price range, 150 to 200,000 MT. So I do believe he's going to be in that S tier category. Pink Diamond Akeem, really good for his price. He's starting to become a little bit more pricey because I feel like people are realizing how good of a card he is, but he's under 50k. He's a very good center card, plays great defense, and also has a not bad jump shot. So I think for his value and for his price is going to be in that A tier category. Ron Artest, a really good 3-and-D type of shooting guard, and he's only like 25,000 MT, I do believe. 6'7", can play shooting guard, 6'11" wingspan, and just take a look at those defensive stats and those defensive badges. Ron Artest, absolutely insane. Again, as a 3-and-D type of card. Is he the best offensive card in this game? No. But does he play elite level defense? Of course he does, and I think he's got to be in that B tier category. Jaren Jackson Jr., I mean, for his price, he's so good. Like, he's 10,000 MT. He's such a good 6'10" power forward, 7'4" wingspan, has a good jump shot, really good defensive card. I think for now he's going to be in B tier, but I think you could argue potentially putting him in that A tier category. Now, RJ Barrett, this is where I don't think we get to a great value card. He's not bad. He's definitely fun to use, but like when you have Kyle Korver for the same price, you have Drazen Petrovic for the same price. Those cards are a whole lot better than RJ Barrett, and he goes for the same price as those type of cards. So I think for that reason, he's going to be in that C tier category. I think Diamond Paulo is one of the best diamond cards in this game, alongside Jaren Jackson Jr. Both really good for their price. Paulo's a 6'10" small forward, very well-rounded, very versatile card at that small forward position. Matt Barnes, just another solid budget card. I mean, this card's literally 5,000 MT on the auction house, so it's hard to find better value than that. That a card that's 6'7" at the 2, 6'9" wingspan, great defender, has a good jump shot. He's just a good card for his price tag. He's definitely one of the better value budget cards in this game. Victor Wembanyama, I think you got to put him in S tier. And yes, of course, he's super expensive. He's like 500, 600,000 MT, but he's still a 7'4" center, 7'8" wingspan, and he's one of the more must-have cards in this game. A card that I feel like most people need to have on their lineups just because of how game-changing he is. If you guys pick up Wembanyama and if you use him in game, you'll know just how good that card is and how important he is to everybody's lineup. So even though he's expensive, I think he's one of the best value cards in this game. Now, Galaxy Opal AK, really good small forward card. He's one of the best defenders in this game. Like, if we take a look at his defensive stats and his defensive badges, you're not going to find much better at the small forward position. 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, has a 97 block, 97 steal, 97 perimeter, and a 94 interior defense. That is absolutely insane for a Galaxy Opal card. His badges are off the charts as well, but he's about 100,000 MT, maybe 125k. He's definitely a little bit pricey, but he's a really good small forward card, and I think that puts him in the A tier category. Jonathan Bender, easy S tier card, only 75,000 MT for a debatable top 5 small forward. He's 7 foot at the small forward position, 7'4" wingspan, and he's got honestly one of my favorite jump shots in this game. It's quick, easy to green, and you can shoot over the top of most other small forwards because of how because of how tall he is compared to other small forwards. That if you're running a 6'7", 6'8" small forward, Jonathan Bender's 7 foot and he's got a quick release. He can shoot over top of you. He's a very versatile defender, and I think one of the best value cards right now in this game. Now, Michael Cooper, I think is a good option. It's not because of his price that he's at C tier. I just think there's some better shooting guard cards like Ron Artest, Matt Barnes, I think are better than him, but he is another cheap card. So if you wanted to pick him up for that reason, he's cheap, he's a good defender, and does have an okay jump shot. Michael Beasley, I think he's also probably gonna be S, but I think you could maybe argue A tier. I'm gonna go S. I mean, he's a top 5 small forward in this game. He's one of the best offensive small forwards in my team, and he's only going for about 150,000, or maybe even, actually I think he's gone down in price. Michael Beasley might only be like 125k. I think I've seen this card for buy now multiple times, and yeah, I think he's really good for his price. One of the best offensive small forwards in this game, great jump shot and very good dribble sigs as well. Now this guy's is, for example, what I was talking about, putting a card that is not bad. Like, of course, Paulo Banchero is a really good Galaxy Opal card and a really good small forward, and you're thinking, well, we have his diamond in B tier, why is his Galaxy Opal in D? And the reason for that is this card goes for, I'm not exactly sure the exact price tag, but he goes for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of MT, probably looking at like 300k for this Galaxy Opal Paulo card, maybe more, maybe less. And yes, he's really good, but his diamond card is not that much worse. I've compared this card before in multiple videos, and they're basically the same card. So that's why I think for his value, for his price, he's going to be in the D tier category. Doesn't mean he's a bad card, no, but it just means he's not worth his price tag go pick up his pink diamond, or go pick up his diamond card. They're basically the same card. Gilbert Arenas for his price tag, I think is probably C tier. He's a good point guard. I mean, maybe you could go B tier. He's on the same range as like LaMelo. I think we'll go B tier for Gilbert Arenas. C tier is going to be Bull. I think he's just a little bit too pricey. I know he's 7'3" at power forward. He's got a great wingspan, great player model, but that card really just isn't that great in game, especially for his price. I think Bilal Coulibaly, kind of in that same range as like a Matt Barnes, Ron Artest, really good defensive cards and can kind of just do it all on the floor in my team. Asar Thompson, I would say also is in that range as well. Really good defender, super athletic card. Not the biggest fan of his jump shot, but definitely not bad. He's a really good slasher and a really good defender. Julian Strawther, I think is just that tier below. He's a really, really good shooting guard, great offensively, but he does lack a little bit of size and a little bit of defense. Cade Cunningham, I'm probably going to go D or C. Again, it's another card that he's good at point guard. I'll go C tier, but he's just not worth his price tag. Like there's other point guards that I think are better for a cheaper price. Now, Cade's a really good card, but is he worth that price tag? I would say most likely not. Thurl Bailey's going to be in C tier. I think he's a good small forward card, nothing crazy, but he is super cheap, and I think for that reason, going to be in the C tier category. Vucevic is A. He is so good for his price, probably one of the more slept on cards in this game. And there's another card we'll talk about here like Vlade Divac. Both these cards are super slept on. Vucevic is about 100,000 MT. I think Vlade Divac the same as well. He may be a little bit cheaper because there might be a little bit more demand of this card, a little bit more supply. About 100,000 MT for both of these cards, and they're really, really good for that price tag. Rudy Gobert, I think also very good for his price tag of like 80,000 MT. Really good center card, one of the best defenders in this game, and does have a serviceable enough jump shot where he can knock down wide open threes. Stephon Castle, you guys know I love this card. I think he's an A tier value card. For his price tag of only 10,000 MT, he gives you great defense, being 6'7" at point guard. He has the Kyrie Irving dribble style. He's got a solid enough jump shot. He's one of the best value cards in this game. If you need a point guard, go ahead and pick up yourself Stephon Castle. Basically just a budget version of that Dark Matter Magic Johnson. Terry Dischinger, also an A tier value card. I think he's amazing at the small forward position. He's got a great jump shot, really good dribble sigs, and can be that amazing offensive scorer for you guys at the small forward position. Zach Edey, I think he's good for his price. I don't know if he's necessarily A tier. I like Hakeem Olajuwon. I like also Kristaps Porzingis a lot more at the center position. And for their price tag, sure, maybe Kristaps is a little bit more pricey. I think he's going for like 100,000 MT, maybe even more. But I think Kristaps is worth his price tag. He's a 7'2" center, has a great jump shot, and can play that solid interior defense as well. So Kristaps and Hakeem Olajuwon, I think, are an A. And then Zach Edey, just kind of that step below those cards at the center position, are going to be in B tier. Danny Green, one of the best value cards in this game for his price. Really good 3-and-D shooting guard. A very similar card to this Pink Diamond Ron Artest. Buzelis, I would say, is probably C tier. He's a 6'10" small forward, but he doesn't really do anything else on the court that exceptional. Kobe White, really good value point guard, really good for that budget price tag, good offensive point guard, and if you have that Galaxy Opal Lauri Markkanen, he becomes a dark matter and becomes even better at the point guard position. Wesley Person, I think, is another just similar card to like a Matt Barnes, a Bilal Coulibaly, just a good budget shooting guard, really good for their price tag. Kamara, he's a good amethyst card. I think for being an amethyst and being super cheap, I'm going to put him in the B tier category. Seriously, one of the best defenders in this game for only like 3,000 MT. And then Alex Sarr, I would say, is personally going to be an A tier. The ability to play the power forward position at 7'1" is a reason why I'd put him over a card like Zach Edey, just because I think he's better overall because he can play power forward. Maybe Zach Edey's a better center card, but he can play power forward as well, has a really good jump shot, and is a very good defender as well. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my tier list? Let me know what do you guys think are the best value cards right now in this game. Hopefully you guys did find this video helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.